Well, hello everybody. Danny back from Pecan Grove. Guys, I told you in the previous videos that I would not do an update on what's been going on with me till we knew more about it. Well, I'm now home from the hospital and doing somewhat better. Wanda and I had gone, as I told you, she had taken me to the emergency room, and I had a procedure done in the emergency room here a while back and come home. We had cut up the pork that was in the walk-in cooler out there. Well, during that process of cutting up the pork, I had a catheter put in me because we really did not know what was wrong with me at the time. And the catheter started filling up with blood. And we was right in the middle of cutting up the pork. And I told Wanda, I said, I can't stop. We'll lose all of our pork, you know. So I emptied the catheter out and it filled up with blood again. And we kept cutting up pork, so I emptied it. And the third time it filled up with blood, I told her, I said, look, we're going to the ER. We're going back to the ER. Because we tried to get an appointment with the urologist and that don't work. They put me out a week or something like that. And I said, I can't wait a week. We're going to have to go back to the ER. So I went back to the ER, and they had already done an ultrasound on my bladder area and told me that there was no stones in there, nothing like that to be causing the problems that I was having, but that I had an enlarged prostate was a problem with what I was having. And I had told them, no, that's not what's going on with me. I have a stone in me, I can tell you. And they're like, no, you had your prostate swelled. Men your age just have that problem. So we went back and they took me in and took me back and did a CT scan on me this time. Well, when I come out of the CT scan, they told me, said, Mr. King, you've got a stone in your bladder that is way too big to pass. And I said, well, y'all told me I didn't have a stone in my bladder. They said, well, you do. You know, said it was hidden somehow or other. Said it's 14 millimeters. And I'm like, that's 14 millimeters. That's 9/16 of an inch in English terms, you know. And I said, I wasn't going to argue with anybody. You know, I said, look, what do we got to do? And they said, well, we're going to schedule you to go to a hospital on the coast, and you will have surgery tomorrow, and they'll go into you and they'll remove it. That was the plans. So they put me in an ambulance and took me to the hospital on the coast, and I spent overnight, me and Wanda did, and thinking that the next morning I got up, I was going to have surgery. Well, the next morning I got up, the hours kept ticking by, and there was no doctor. And after dinner, still no doctor. And I was getting a little perturbed because I ain't never been to this hospital before for a procedure like that. I've never had a hospital stay in this hospital before. It's new to me. And I told him, I said, the facilities was great. The staff was great, everything. I said, but I'm getting a little bit concerned here, you know. And finally, they brought in a urologist, and very nice man. Very, 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 very nice man. First time I've ever had a doctor just listen to me. You know, he literally listened to me. He wasn't in there no 3-4 minutes and just walked off. You know, I mean, he actually took time to listen. And I told him what was going on, and he said, well, I think I'm just going to let you stay another night or two in the hospital, and I'll do it Friday when I do all my surgeries. And I'm like, dude, look, I got cattle, I got stuff, I got a farm I have to take care of. I said, I've been 36 hours with no food or water at this point, waiting to have surgery. Done been prepped twice. And he said, well, if I can get the operating room this afternoon and find me an anesthesiologist and everything, he said, we'll do it this evening. But if not, it's going to be Friday. So I told him, I said, well, tomorrow, which was going to be Thursday at that time, I said, it's supposed to be a lot of bad weather, rain like crazy. I said, I'd rather me and my wife not be on the road in all this rain because it's going to rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And he said, well, let me see what I can do. Well, about 3 o'clock in the evening, they come running in there with a gurney and told me, he said, you're fixing to go have surgery. And they come got me, took me down. The man done the surgery on me, brought me back to the room, and he was going to let me go home. But guys, let me tell you something. Because it was 14 millimeters, and the surgery was very invasive to get that thing out of me, I was in so much pain, and I got a very high pain tolerance. But I was in so much pain, I told them, I said, look, you all got to do something. Y'all got to give me something. So they ended up sedating me, and I ended up spending another night in the hospital, and got up the next morning, and they came in, and the urologist told them, says, look, y'all just take the catheter out, because they put another catheter back in me. Said, y'all just take the catheter out of him, and said once he urinates a certain amount, then he can go home. And it took till about 11 o'clock in the day to get to that point where I could get my senses back, because they had drugged me up so bad till I couldn't really function very well. But once I got my senses back, I was able to go to the restroom, and they was very, very pleased with the fact of how everything turned out. And Wanda and I got released to come home right in the middle of the worst raining. I mean, it was just, it's always that way, guys. It just seems like our plight in life, you know. But we made it home. Had a wonderful neighbor who came over and checked the water on the cows and stuff like that. Elderly gentleman. One of my neighbors, fantastic guy, came over, took care of all that for us. And we were very blessed to have him do that. And a big thank you to him for that. And I do have to go back. In my other kidney, I have what is called a staghorn kidney stone in my other kidney. And he told me, he said, I can't, this one I'll have to go through your back and go through your kidney itself and take it out. And he said, we'll have to schedule that at a later date. So, not something I was interested in hearing, but this thing is like 3 inches. And, you know, it's big. And so that's where we're at. You know, I thought I'd give you all an update. I'm doing okay right now. Still a lot of burning and, you know, a lot of hurting when I do go to the bathroom. But I guess the fact is, as much as they had to go in and out of me, you know, getting these kidney stones out of, once they busted it up, getting it out, I guess that he did not put a stent in. Didn't have to, he said. But it's going to take a little while to get beyond this. And then I'm looking at another major surgery to take care of the other one. So that's where I'm at. Thought I would share this with you guys. I told you that I would, because up in front, they told me there was no kidney stone, and I did not want to say that there was, because they had done all the ultrasounds and told me there was not one. And there had been some very invasive procedures trying to get a catheter in me that was really, really bad. And come to find out, according to the urologist, what we believe now, I can't prove this, but what we believe after talking about it, is that large stone had made it in my urinary tract down to my prostate and had blocked me off. And when they tried to put the catheter in me, they kept running into that kidney stone. So they had to go get a rigid catheter, one that was stiff and hard, and keep sitting there jobbing it until they got it in me, where I could get some relief. And we believe what happened is they pushed that stone back up toward my bladder, and the day that I started bleeding so bad is the day that it came out of my urinary tract and went back into my bladder. Is the reason it did not show up on the ultrasound, is because it was not in the bladder. It was actually trying to come out of me. So, and I would have never passed anything 9/16 inch in diameter. There's just no way it could go through you, you know. And that's kind of the gist of it, where we're at. So I will be having another procedure in the future. Don't know when. Don't know whether it be this year or next year or whatever. But I do want to take time to say thank you for so many of you. I've been reading the comments in the videos. I want to say thank you to all of you all who offered up prayers on my behalf, because I am a person who believes in prayer. And I believe in my heart that the fact that this turned out the way that it did was because of your prayers. Now, this urologist, guys, he's probably the best urologist I have ever seen in my life. Just a fantastic guy. Done a really good job so far. And to find a doctor who will sit down and talk with you and listen to you is almost unheard of. You know, so the fact that I ended up with him, I believe, is because of you guys' prayers. And I want to take time to thank y'all for that. So, love you. Appreciate you. And I'll try to get a few more videos out. I got to get up and get going again. But we'll try to get you all some more videos about things we got going on around here and not leave you hanging. So, thank you guys from Pecan Grove.